Is that an
Yeah,
accurate
and
statement?
yes, and what I found like the good thing from that I felt at the end of this was and I've always been like regimented in my scheduling as a teacher. Like I don't like to fly by the seat of my pants day to day. I don't mind it within my lessons, although that this is a little different because you really have to be so much more structured. But
Yes.
I don't mind like, hey, we'll look at these few examples and we'll talk about these in particular, but how we get there in the lesson, whatever. But I had so many kids that I could tell were thankful, not because I was a math teacher, but because I was so structured in my and how everything was, how they were given everything. They're like, oh, thank you. I can follow everything you're asking me to do. Which is why I do think we saw as a math department a lot more success than other departments
Yes.
because
And
we are so like day, do this, do this, do this. Here's the list of things, and kids are like, okay, I can follow that.
and so to be very clear, you've been providing notes or videos or resources online for a few years now.
Yeah, yeah,
And so some of the folks you work with also have been doing that process. So Google Classroom was not new for any student that's had you. It's also not new to you. It's those things, organizing those things in when things are due. Here's the resources that was already in place for you. You just had to kind of adapt it to COVID.
yeah. I mean, I did have to read. I did have to, unfortunately, and it's one of the things I've been putting off on break is I do have to really re-record a lot of the stuff I did though because the way I did it in the past, I did it in a way of expectation of interpersonal, work the next day in class. So I would leave things out, going like, I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long because I'm going to explain to you the more in-depth stuff that you are going to have a tough time finding. Well, that had so some things were just completely left out of the story for them if I just put up what I had done in the past. Or I have supplemental videos, but this was something I learned very quickly that if I'm giving you two videos for one lesson,
They're
some
not
of
getting both accomplished.
yes, because some of you didn't realize or what happened. This was and what this was for is also for my students who were full remote from the beginning of the year that decided not to come to class. My in-class students were watching me do the video essentially twice because they'd watch me in class and the video they were watching at home was the same and I was like, no, you're working way too hard. I'm glad you like to see me do the same examples twice, but you're working too hard at this. So that I had to structure a lot of things a little differently because the way I had just done it before in the past.
So balancing the having remote learners at home while also having in-class learners.